Alright, round 3. We're going to keep this hand. We need some life gain, but see if this famished paladin can deliver some goodies for us here soon enough. We're like a bloodletter away, or Squire's Devotion, Pious Interdiction. Thought we had a couple other ways to gain life too. Martyr of Dusk, sort of. Paladin of the Bloodstain, sort of. Maybe that's it. I mean, the nice thing about Famished Paladin is it's not like it can't block. It still can block. I'm willing to trade if I have to. Semotic Compass formerly was pretty weak. A little bit too slow. I can't imagine that it got better, seeing as definitely feels like the format got much faster. Not much faster, because I felt like Ixalan was very fast, but certainly faster. These games have all been very quick. Efficiency is sort of through the roof here. I guess that's not a huge deal, but we're going to need some actual things. Question is, do you play the Sanguine Glorifier as a hill giant, or do you wait for a vampire? I think the answer is you probably wait for a vampire. What does this nuts dude do again? Oh, lets you find a dinosaur, and then when you play it, it can deal 1 damage to each creature. That's right. It's pretty good against us. I may have to impale that. I guess we'll see. If they get the 5/5 deal 1 damage to each creature thing, we probably have to kill that. I'm psychic, so that's what they're going to get. Oh, jeez. Well, probably going to have to save my impale for that, I suppose. Alright, Sky Marcher was a good rip. Now at least we can... Now at least we can impale the 4/4 and feel good. I can play the Glorifier, but I think we're just gonna impale this thing now, not deal with it. Get in for 2. Play the Glorifier next turn. Still try and build towards that ascend if we can. Alright. So they did this during their main phase, not upkeep, just in case they did draw the land. How do you flip this thing? I always forget. 7 or more lands. Okay. Sky Marcher's cool. I think we can't play both though, can we? That would be 7 mana. So Sky Marcher allows us to put more damage on the board. Or, Glorifier, rather. But Sky Marcher is a better target for Glorifier. I think we just make... Well, is it making better use of mana? Because we're going to have to just pay extra now for the Sky Marcher. I think we still play Glorifier. I imagine the average card in our opponent's deck is going to be stronger than the average card in ours. So... going for as high damage output as possible seems wiser to me. Alright, they're just trying to find some goodies. I don't blame them. Raptor. Oh, I think they maybe didn't play their cards in the right order there. So, let's see here. Yep, I think we baffling in the Raptor. In for 6. And then I suppose we'll play the Sky Marcher. So if they play 2 dinosaurs, I guess they kill our Sky Marcher. But can smash for a good amount of damage here. So they can flip this at the beginning of their instep, and then they have like a little maze of it. So our guy's not going to die. That's good news. It's kind of a cool. That's a pretty cool combo. So we play this, and now we have Ascend. So Smash Team. I guess we just smash with the Flyers. Oh, they don't have 7 or more lands. That's right. All right. Okay. So they had a bit of a slow start there, but we should be able to aggro them down. Grasping Scoundrel is quick, but pretty big liability against that 1/3 dude. And Slash of Talons does not seem like it's great here, so we're probably good where we're at. We just run it back. I mean, the nice thing is all these premium removal spells should be exceptionally good against fatties. So we should be good at pretty much all points of the game. We have spot removal that's going to be really good. We'll keep this hand. Not the quickest start, but good synergy once again. Sky Marcher into Glorifier, or Sky Marcher into Sky Marcher into Glorifier. Either of those seems good. I think my issue with this format is most of the guys seem to have very similar names. So when I'm saying one part of their name, Glorifier, you don't know if I'm talking about. You don't know which one I'm talking about, is what I'm trying to say. But that's okay. Minor complaint. Yeah, Drover is also exceptionally good. One of the better cards from Ixalan, without a doubt. So probably going to have to trade a Sky Marcher for a Death Spitter. Could also guess this is harder to cast because of the double white. So maybe we do play the Sky Marcher then. Better power and toughness, but that's okay. Okay, so we're in a pretty tough spot now. It's going to be tough to win. They happen to just have a pretty godlike hand. So we can play the... I don't think we play the Glorifier, so I guess this just deals it to opponent. Is that right? Okay. So maybe the play is just Sky Marcher and leave up the Zeal, I guess. I mean, if this works, the good news is their Drover becomes a 1/1. Cool. That worked out pretty good. Pretty well, I should say. Pretty well. Charging Tuscadon. So what do you do? If you deal combat damage to player, you deal double. This card seems... Wait, is this an uncommon? Trample. Deal combat damage to player, deals double? This card seems nuts. That's the first time I've seen that one. I mean, thankfully we have the Pious Interdiction, but geez. That's a crazy good card. Crazy good. So our hard removal is not quite as hard when when they get to keep their dinosaur, I should say. (8/5) when it's dealt damage, each opponent sacks a permanent. Okay. So probably play the Glorifier. Well, I'm gonna have to 2-for-1 myself either way, huh? So I'd probably make best use of mana by just playing the Glorifier. And then double blocking the Silverclad Ferocidon. Because I'm going to have to sack a thing. I'm going to have to sack a stuff and thing here. Easily attack with the Drover too. That was a big mistake, them not doing that. I'm glad they didn't, but huge mistake on their part. Absolutely zero reason to not attack with Drover. Unless they think I'm just going to kill it and then... Yeah, I don't think that's going to work too well for me. So play the Glorifier to block the Drover. We're going to have to rip one of our other hard removal spells to deal with the Sun Crown Hunter. But we're going to take at least 3 from the Enrage. And then I guess we'll trade our Glorifier for the Drover. But we could, theoretically, we could totally come back in this if we rip a removal for that Hunter. Otherwise, can't really do it. I guess they're dodging the Vampire Zeal, which is fine. So play the Bloodletter, leave up the Pride of Conquerors, but we still do not have Ascend. We've been on the receiving end of some harsh violence this whole game. I think we're actually probably dead. I I guess we're not dead. Our blocks are Bloodletter on Drover, Glorifier on Suncrown Hunter. And then we Pride of Conquerors. We lose both our guys. We take 4 damage if they attack with Forerunner 2. But we get the Suncrown Hunter off the board, which is good. Alright, looks like we are dead. So, our opponent kind of had the God game for themselves there. Their deck looks pretty good, though. I still think we should be able to smash our opponent up pretty good. Just because, I mean, their Forerunner is good against us, because I guess we do have a few X1s, but I don't know. I just feel like we're good in this match. We have, like I said, hard removal for their more expensive dudes. We have a much lower curve. Just seems like something we should be able to win more often than they should. Thematic Compass was, like I said, sort of an underwhelming card in Ixalan. And like I said, I expect it to be even more underwhelming with Rivals out. But they did just get us there, so obviously they're capable of doing so. But I think we're... maybe Golden Demise is something I should have swapped out for like a... probably should have swapped out to Golden Demise. I guess that's okay. There's still stuff that it kills. This is a tough one. I think we're going to keep. My thing is, if we draw any land, we're pretty good. It's tough to mulligan a hand like this, too. It is. I think a lot of people, a lot of commenters tend to be a little bit too mulligan gung-ho. I don't think they realize the repercussions of mulligan. Mulliganing is terrible. It is terrible to mulligan. I think there's percentage breakdowns, but you immediately, I would say at least, you can just cut like 10 to 15% of your chance of winning right off the top, right there. Just right off the top, it's gone. You mulligan twice, I mean, you're looking at like 30-40% chance of just, you're gone. So I think it's easy for commenters to be like, dude, you should have probably mulled that, especially when you watch a game and you lose it. It's so easy to say that. I kind of want them to play Drover here because I'll just kill it. Raptor, on the other hand, I'm not really feeling that as much. So we're going to play the Bloodletter and hope to rip a Plains. If we rip a Plains, Golden Demise actually gets a lot better. Because then we don't even have to wait for a send. We can just go to town. Can actually block here, eat up their turn, but I guess we'll take it. Because, I mean, they would have to pump, but I want my Glorifiers to do something. And I kind of want to keep my Bloodletter too, honestly. Alright, that's sweet. That's good news. I can get my value here now, regardless of... Yeah, so I just attack with Bloodletter and we Golden Demise. And that kills both. We end up 2 for 2ing, but I would say the 2 for 2 is still absolutely worth it here. Remember, this goes back to a 1/1, so it's going to die. The one time I get to play Golden Demise, end up killing my own guy. That's alright. It was still pretty valuable there. Alright, hoped they didn't have a 4-drop. That's going to get them to their 7-drop a little more rapidly. Even if I draw the land to Impale that night, I don't think I am. I think it's in our best interest to save that for the big fat fatty we're going to have to deal with at some point. No white mana is a bummer, but what can you do? What can you do, really? So, once again, I cannot stress enough how much better I think our deck is than our opponents. But obviously, you can't really do much when you don't have your second color. So, I do think that aggro plus premium removal beats mid-range fatties, but not when you just cannot draw the lands you need. Look at the synergies. Alright, we could not be more dead, so we'll just see what we draw and then concede. Alright, thanks for tuning in, folks. It was a lot of fun. I think this deck is fantastic. I was very, very impressed with vampires. Wish we could have gotten there, but we did not. So, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back for more.